In our rapidly changing world, understanding different political and economic systems is crucial. It allows us to make sense of global events and engage in informed discussions. These systems shape our societies, influencing everything from healthcare and education to wealth distribution and individual liberties. By understanding the theories and real-world applications of these systems, we can become more informed citizens. We can critically evaluate policies and contribute to a more just and equitable world. This essay will delve into some of the most influential political and economic systems, comparing their key features, strengths, and weaknesses.
Communism, at its core, advocates for a classless society where the means of production are owned collectively. It envisions a world free from exploitation, where everyone contributes according to their ability and receives according to their needs. This utopian vision has inspired many revolutionary movements throughout history. One of the most prominent examples of communism in practice was the Soviet Union. Under the leadership of Vladimir Lenin and later Joseph Stalin, the USSR implemented a centrally planned economy. The state controlled all aspects of production and distribution, aiming to eliminate private property and achieve economic equality. However, the Soviet experiment faced significant challenges, including authoritarianism, suppression of individual liberties, and economic inefficiencies. Despite its failures, communism continues to hold intellectual and historical significance. It serves as a reminder of the enduring human desire for a more just and equitable society. It also highlights the complexities and potential pitfalls of attempting to radically reshape social and economic structures.
Socialism shares some similarities with communism, particularly in its emphasis on social justice and reducing inequality. However, socialism generally advocates for a more gradual and democratic approach to achieving its goals. Socialist systems prioritize public ownership or control of essential industries and resources, such as healthcare, education, and transportation. The belief is that these sectors should serve the common good, rather than being driven solely by profit motives. Scandinavian countries like Sweden and Denmark are often cited as examples of successful socialist democracies. These countries have implemented robust social safety nets, providing their citizens with universal healthcare, free education, and generous social security benefits. While critics argue that socialism stifles innovation and economic growth due to its emphasis on redistribution and government intervention, proponents point to the high levels of social well-being and happiness in many socialist-leaning countries as evidence of its merits.
Capitalism stands in stark contrast to communism and socialism. It is an economic system characterized by private ownership of the means of production, free markets, and the pursuit of profit. In a capitalist system, individuals and corporations compete in the marketplace to sell goods and services, with minimal government intervention. The United States, with its emphasis on individual initiative, entrepreneurship, and free enterprise, is often considered a prime example of capitalism. Proponents of capitalism argue that it fosters innovation, economic growth, and individual freedom. They believe that the pursuit of self-interest, guided by the invisible hand of the market, ultimately benefits society as a whole. However, critics of capitalism point to its tendency to exacerbate inequality, create boom and bust cycles, and prioritize profit over social and environmental concerns. They argue that unfettered capitalism can lead to monopolies, exploitation of workers, and environmental degradation.
Section 5. Marxism analyzing class struggle and the seeds of revolution. Marxism, developed by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels in the 19th century, provides a critical lens through which to analyze capitalism and its inherent contradictions. Marxists view history as a series of class struggles, with the bourgeoisie, the capitalist class, exploiting the proletariat, the working class. According to Marx, capitalism contains the seeds of its own destruction. The relentless pursuit of profit would inevitably lead to crises of overproduction, economic inequality, and ultimately, revolution. Marxist ideas have had a profound impact on revolutionary movements around the world, inspiring the Russian Revolution, the Chinese Revolution, and countless other social and political upheavals. While many of Marx's predictions about the inevitable collapse of capitalism have not come to pass, his analysis of class struggle, alienation, and the exploitative nature of capitalism continue to resonate with many. Marxism remains a powerful tool for understanding the dynamics of power, inequality, and social change.
Section 6. Free markets. The ideal and the reality. The concept of a truly free market, completely devoid of any government intervention, is largely theoretical. In practice, even the most capitalist of economies involve some degree of government regulation and oversight. Proponents of free markets argue that they represent the most efficient way to allocate resources and promote economic growth. They believe that government intervention distorts market signals, stifles innovation, and leads to inefficiency. However, history is replete with examples of market failures, such as the Great Depression, where unfettered capitalism led to widespread economic hardship. Section 7. Mixed markets. A pragmatic approach to economic management. Most modern economies operate as mixed markets, combining elements of both capitalism and socialism. In a mixed economy, the government plays a role in regulating certain industries, providing public goods and services, and redistributing wealth through taxation and social welfare programs. Canada, with its universal healthcare system, robust social safety net, and commitment to free trade, exemplifies a mixed market economy. The balance between free market principles and government intervention varies widely among mixed economies. Some lean more towards free market policies, while others adopt a more interventionist approach.
Section 8. Democratic socialism towards a more equitable capitalism. You know, democratic socialism has really gained a lot of attention in recent years, especially in the United States. Advocates of democratic socialism, like Senator Bernie Sanders, believe in harnessing the power of democracy to create a more just and equitable society within a capitalist framework. They support policies such as universal healthcare, free college tuition, and a higher minimum wage, funded through progressive taxation. Democratic socialists argue that these policies would reduce inequality, expand opportunity, and create a more humane and just society. Critics often conflate democratic socialism with communism or traditional socialism, arguing that it would lead to government overreach, economic inefficiency, and a loss of individual freedom. However, proponents maintain that democratic socialism seeks to reform and improve capitalism, not abolish it.
Section 9. Comparing and contrasting systems, navigating the spectrum. Understanding the nuances of different political and economic systems requires moving beyond simplistic labels. These systems exist on a spectrum with varying degrees of government intervention, liberty, and equality. Communism and socialism share common ground but differ in their approaches. Socialism advocates for a gradual democratic approach, using the state to implement social welfare programs. Capitalism varies from laissez-faire to regulated forms, prioritizing social welfare and environmental protection. Section 10. The relevance of understanding these systems, shaping informed opinions. In an increasingly interconnected world, understanding different political and economic systems is not merely an academic exercise, it's essential for navigating the complexities of global affairs, engaging in informed debates about public policy, and advocating for a more just and equitable world. Whether we're evaluating the potential consequences of free trade agreements, assessing the effectiveness of different healthcare models, or understanding the root causes of global inequality, having a solid grasp of these systems equips us to make more informed judgments and contribute to meaningful change. Moreover, understanding these systems helps us to critically examine our own beliefs and assumptions. It challenges us to move beyond simplistic narratives and engage in nuanced discussions about the role of government, the limits of individual liberty, and the balance between economic growth and social well-being. Embracing nuance in a complex world. There is no one-size-fits-all solution for political and economic systems. Each has its own strengths and weaknesses, often depending on a country's specific context. The key is to engage in thoughtful discussions about creating a just, equitable, and sustainable world. By understanding different systems, we can work towards solutions for all people.